p.m. and we are back in open session. Just reminding everyone that this video is, or this meeting is cablecast through Comcast, but it is not the official record of the meeting. That's always the minutes. So first item on our agenda is now to reorganize.
I make a motion that Christine be chair.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
You like hesitated.
I know.
What was that?
Yeah, you were. All right, and how about John serves as, vice chair? Do you want to continue
Yeah,
with
I'll
our
make a
roles?
motion that John
All
be
right,
vice chair.
I'll second the nomination for John. All in favor?
Aye.
And then, Mark, will you continue as clerk?
With joy.
Okay, yeah, sharpen your pencil. All right, I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, so next item on the agenda is the siting of the new well at the town complex. And this is the roles and responsibilities are being clarified.
So just recently, the chair and I sought a legal opinion from town council so that we could properly delineate roles and responsibilities. And again, this is for the purposes of siting of a new well to service the town complex. This does not have anything to do with the current well that's located in this building in which DEP and the Board of Health are working on addressing. So the opinion reads as follows, and I can provide a copy of this for Bree for the minutes. Dear Liz and Christine, you have requested an opinion as to the permitting authority for the purpose of deciding the location of a new well to serve the town building campus comprising the townhouse, police station, and fire station. Based on the facts which you have provided and for the detailed reasons set forth below, it is my opinion that the Department of Environmental Protection, in conjunction with the town board or officer with custody of the land, have the exclusive authority to determine the location of any new well. I have been informed that the town campus is currently served by a well in the basement of the townhouse. The current well does not meet DEP requirements, and the Board of Health has been working with DEP on that issue. In the meantime, the town is in the process of developing plans for a new well to be installed in conjunction with plans to build a new fire station. That project is under the care of the Town Properties Committee, which has been authorized by the Board of Selectmen to develop plans for that project, including plans for the placement of a new well. A question has arisen as to what role, if any, the Board of Health has with respect to deciding the location for the new well. It is my understanding that the new well will qualify as being part of a public water system as defined in the regulations of the DEP insofar as it will be a non-transient, non-community water system that will regularly serve at least 25 of the same individuals or more, approximately 4 or more hours per day, 4 or more days per week, more than 6 months or 180 days per year, such as a workplace providing water to its employees. 310 CMR 22.02. A public water system and any well used as part thereof must be permitted by DEP before it can be used. 310 CMR 22.04 and 22.21. DEP extensively regulates the location, specifications, and use of wells that are part of a public water system. See generally 310 CMR 22. I have reviewed those regulations, and there is no requirement that the local Board of Health approve the location of a well or any other component of a public water system. Therefore, given the extensive nature of the DEP's regulation of the subject, it is my opinion that the DEP has the exclusive authority to approve the location of a new well used as part of a public water system. With regard to property owned by the town, only the board or officer with custody and control of the land can approve the location for a new well. General Law, Chapter 40, Section 3. In this matter, it is my understanding that the property in question is in the care, custody, and control of the Board of Selectmen. Therefore, it is my opinion that the Board of Selectmen is the only local agency authorized to determine the location for a new well on town property, subject to the exclusive permit granting authority of DEP. It is also my opinion that the Board of Health does not have the authority to veto these decisions. Please feel free to contact me if you have any further questions in this regard.
Thank you, Liz.
And that is from town council?
From Greg Corbo.
And you can pass, Bree can have this for the record.
it's,
Would you all like a copy of this?
No, we've got it.
no.
Okay.
All right, so I think it's clear that the siting of the new well is under the jurisdiction of the Board of Selectmen and their agent, the Town Properties Committee. Does that seem like it's
Oh,
clear?
absolutely. I think it's about as clear as you can
Okay.
get.
All right.
Excuse me, would you like this as an attachment to
Yes.
minutes?
Yes, yeah.
Instead of me?
Yeah, I wouldn't, yeah, I would use the full thing as an attachment.
Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you, Bree. Okay, any more discussion on that?
Just that we got to get going.
Okay,
Yeah.
Time to make up.
all right, very good.
I guess the question is this been shared with the Board of Health?
Yes.
It was shared this morning.
So if I let Dan know that Peter can reach back out to them and proceed?
Yes.
Or should we wait till Thursday?
I'm not sure what the purpose is.
I'm not sure of the purpose Thursday. I guess
mean-
we've got it on the calendar, so I guess we do it, but
Do you want to do it, though, or are we going to be paying for our consultant's time for a meeting that's not really necessary?
I think,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go
I think
ahead.
it's a Board of Health question. If they don't want to meet, then there's no reason to meet.
Yeah, I think we should sort that out tomorrow,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I certainly don't want to take any of our consultants away from other work that they're doing if they don't need to.
Why don't I'll reach out to
But I
Kathy
wanna
and
make
to
sure
Brad.
that we're clear before we have additional contact with DEP, so that DEP doesn't start wondering what we're doing.
Okay.
Because Peter is more than happy to reach back out and set up the appointment that he originally had for April. And get the application done, and then,
And I think we were looking as a courtesy to have the Board of Health agent, but I don't think that's needed now.
I mean, are we better off maybe where we shared the opinion earlier today? I'm wondering if we should, the three of us should still keep our meeting with them on Thursday, but maybe the consultants are under our purview, your purview. Maybe tell them that they're not needed. I don't want to waste their time, but maybe it's something that the three of us meet with the Board of Health and hash over this opinion and what it all means. That way we have a clear understanding. But I would say we could cancel our consultants.
I'm all right with that.
I just don't want to pay them for
Yeah,
something unnecessary.
I agree.
Good plan.
All right.
All right.
Excellent.
All right, so anything else, John? All right, good to go. All right, so next,
So you're no longer a school committee member, and we have lots of free time now. We can put you on lots of boards, and
I had no free time before, I had negative free time, so now I have no free time, but just with the work that I'm
You're zeroed out.
I'm at
You reset.
level or not quite, but we're
Okay.
closer to it.
but you're in a position to spend more time on this committee that's important to you.
and to us.
Yes, and to all of us, exactly.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
great, thank you, John. All right, so next item on the agenda is appointing Sean Fitzgerald as a part-time police officer effective May 22nd, 2023 until dissolved. And this is at the recommendation of Chief All, correct? Okay.
I'll second that.
Any questions or
No.
concerns? You good to
No
go?
question.
Okay. So I made the motion to appoint Sean Fitzgerald as a part-time police officer effective May 22nd, 2023 until dissolved, and John has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Bree, how about warrants paid?
Could you sign that for me?
Yep.
$30,191.79. And this is a few weeks of warrants. since
Okay, a
we've
couple of
had
weeks.
town meeting
Okay.
and-
Thank you. All right, so next item on the agenda is correspondence.
So we have an application for use of town property. This is for a cooking demonstration with samples, and it is to utilize the town hall meeting room, this room, and it has already been approved by the Board of Health, and this is for June 8th. Approximately 20 people will be attending, and where they are going to be serving food, they had to get the Board of Health involved fairly early. It's a professional chef who's involved.
And Board of Health has approved it.
Yes,
Okay.
And that's here, Liz?
here in this room.
Okay. And who's sponsoring this? or the applicant?
It's Chef Thomas Model from RCT Network out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Interesting.
Who was making the request?
It's at 6 PM. The request appears to have come from him, and it says on here that Board of Health has already approved.
It's actually from Mike Flossin at the
Yeah.
library.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I
is
thought.
this the one he mentioned today?
I wasn't
Oh,
aware.
okay, yeah, he mentioned something today about this.
Okay. Okay.
So it's June 8th at 6 PM.
And do they need any type of special insurance free to do this?
No.
They're okay
he
with the
must be,
Board of
yeah,
As long as the Board of Health said that they're
must be
okay?
Everything like kind of like a pre-made. He might have a little
Like a hot
hot
plate or something.
Okay,
like that.
all right, interesting.
We just thought there would be more people, so to use this room instead.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion that we authorize Chef Thomas Model of Pawtucket, Rhode Island, use of this room on June 8th at 6 PM for some cooking demonstration.
And I would just add, under the auspices of the library.
Under the auspices of the library and as approved by the Board of Health.
Great.
Perfect. All right.
second.
Thank you, John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Then we have 2 requests here from Eversource that appear that they needed to be expedited. One is a request for the installation of 1 pole and 1 anchor on Lake Street in Plympton. And the pole is identified as 1/49-5. So there's that, and then we have another one from Eversource that was asked to be expedited, and this is a petition to cover the installation of 2 joint-owned poles with the anchor system. Those are identified as pole number 2/32-5S and 2/32-5, and these are both located on County Road in Plympton and are necessary to provide service to new customers.
All right, so the first one is Lake Street and then 2 on
And then
County
2 on
Road.
County Road. And in just flipping through these, it looks like some different spots for Mark to sign and for you guys to sign, so we can go through and maybe tag them and put them up on the cabinet like later this week.
Okay. And has Highway approved these already?
I don't think, he was aware, but I don't, not formally. But we'll make sure that he's
Okay.
Some things like this, I go to you first. and
up
then
to
they have-
speed.
So do we want to approve them then, contingent
I would
on approval
approve them
by?
contingent upon Rob Furlot giving it the okay, just making sure that there are no issues.
Because otherwise it'll be another 2 weeks.
And then once we do that, Bree will go through and flag where it is that we need signatures, and then they'll be up on the cabinet probably by the end of the week.
So
Okay.
Hold the police for any details.
Okay. All right, so I'll make a motion that we approve the pole installation with the anchor at Lake Street and the 2 poles and anchors on County Road, contingent on the necessary approvals by all the relevant boards and committees.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, anything else in correspondence, Liz?
No?
All right, I thought we had a
we
letter
did-
from
Yeah,
Nancy.
we have a letter
A
from,
letter from,
Nancy Denman, I
yeah,
think?
a good
Oh,
letter
okay, I didn't
about
see that one.
MBTA, just
Oh, I
encourage,
do recall this,
Do you want to
actually.
read it?
read the whole letter?
Yeah, why don't you
It's a
read the whole
good,
letter?
it's a good letter. All right. To Plympton Board of Selectmen, this is an email dated May 15th. I am writing to express my concern about the MBTA housing mandate that the state is forcing on Massachusetts cities and towns. On April 28th, 2023, an April 28th, 2023 article in the Express notes that the concerns from Mr. Russo, who voiced them to our state senator Susan Moran during a recent forum at the Plympton Library. I was in attendance at the meeting, and Ms. Moran's response to Mr. Russo's questions was disappointing. She did not make me hopeful anything will change. In addition, the current Attorney General's statement stating municipalities will lose grant funding and be fined for noncompliance speaks loudly of the state's attitude toward us. A BostonGlobe.com article on August 12, 2022 details how the Baker administration scaled back the multifamily requirement after small towns complained of the, quote, one-size-fits-all, unquote, approach. The article notes, quote, those towns would be exempt from a rule mandating at least 50 acres zoned for multifamily units, and as a result could get by with as few as 53 such units in the case of tiny Plympton, unquote. So this is our state government's idea of a balanced response. We can get by with as few as 53 units. This is nonsense. This letter is to urge you to reach out to your colleagues in the state who are in the same predicament as Plympton regarding this absurd mandate. Consider joining together and to form a united front to fight this mandate. By rushing to get some type of plan in by the state's June deadline, we are giving up and buying into the whole scenario, instead of providing documentation of why it will not work. Joining with other towns in the state would provide more gravitas to your voices and provide strength in numbers. I fear this is just the tip of the iceberg as far as the state mandates. They are coming after our septic systems next, as witnessed by what is happening on Cape Cod, but that's a subject for another day. Sincerely, Nancy Dedman, 81 Ring Road.
Well said.
Yeah, I think we've taken these concerns very much to heart, and I think it's deeply challenging that the Attorney General has opined that we put ourselves in legal peril if we don't move forward. One of the good things, to the degree there is that if we move forward with the June deadline, it merely is the first stage on something that next year would have to be approved, could be spiffed up, polished, would have to be approved by town meeting. So any action we take now, between now and June, could potentially leave us out of peril without committing us to anything. I think the tenor of that letter I totally agree with. I think this legislation, though its purpose is excellent, encouraging more use of the MBTA, is not in tune with the times and is absolutely blind to the unusual situations of very small towns.
I agree with that, but I think we have to be a little careful that this is not directed at us. This is directed at the larger towns, the Foxboroughs, the cities. Now, I understand that there's a meeting being put together of different representatives from the towns, and I think we should go forward and make our concerns known. I think based on what I saw, it felt like everybody's coming from the same place, that this is unfair and it doesn't really help, because small towns really don't have, especially somebody like Plympton, we really don't have the acreage. But I just want to be careful as we go forward that we don't get so entwined with that, that we end up shooting ourselves in the foot, because there are ways that we could probably, we don't know what the outcome is going to be. This is just the first step. And I think we just need to take it, be very careful, but we know where the townspeople and where we're coming from, which is it doesn't make sense for Plympton. But as we go forward, let's see, because if the Attorney General really is going to enforce that they're going to go after somebody to make them a scapegoat, to say, now you have to do this, we don't want to be number one on the hit list.
Yeah. That would be bad. And I think we've all expressed our support for affordable housing, but it needs to be in a manner that is consistent with the town and that we can support with the services that we offer. So, yeah, well, so more to come on this.
More to come.
All right.
A lot more.
Yeah, a lot more. All right, so thank you for sharing that letter. Anything else? I don't think we've got anything else in correspondence. That was the last, that was the only letter we received. Okay, so we've got two sets of minutes. We've got the minutes from 5/8 and the minutes from before town meeting. So you guys get a chance to read the minutes?
Okay.
All right, are you all set with both of them?
I'm all set with both. The
Okay.
revised one was good.
All right, I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes from May 8th and May 17th as written.
Second?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so our next meeting will be on June 5th, and that will be followed by the 26th. So we're at Selectmen's Raves.
Linda,
Linda, did you want to see
She's
us?
here for the executive session.
Oh, perfect, at the
okay.
end, okay. All right, so, John, do you want to go first?
Sure, I've got one or two.
That's to be expected.
So one of the residents, Jackie Freitas, wanted to have us give a rave or shout out for the Silver Lake Regional High School graduate signs that are around town. That she felt that was really good to know that there's so many of them going through. So a shout out to them, to the parents. Also a rave for the townspeople respond to the pay-as-you-throw. Really, we have not had any major pushback, and in fact, not even minor pushback. So a rave to the townspeople, a rave to the highway department and the transfer station. It seems to be going well, and I'm sure that's going to, we'll start to see I think we've already started to see the trash decline as a percentage of the total. And I'm sure there's going to be some raves for town meetings, so I'll just pass on.
Okay. Anything else, though?
No, I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I do have a rant.
No, go ahead.
This is a minor rant, but 9.35% turnout when we have a contested position, I think is just very poor showing on Plympton. Plymouth got 15%. We're a small town of 3,000. We couldn't get 15, 20% to turn out. Oh, I know. They could have carried their plants over here and voted. So that's my rant. I think we've got to do better.
All right, my rave would be town meeting, and probably the first of another rave, just how much work goes into it, and Liz and the finance team and all of the committees and commissions that submit budgets, and just how seamless it really went. It was pretty amazing. We voted a huge amount of money, and I think that people that aren't involved in town government know how much vetting is going into this, and they've got confidence in the people that are serving on the boards, and they feel good about the direction we're heading. So I think that really, congratulations to everybody involved, that, job well done. That it was pretty remarkable.
It was.
And Barry DiCristofano
Yeah.
did outstanding and looked as dapper as ever. He always really shines up there.
He's polished.
He is polished. That's his. That's definitely his forte, right in his wheelhouse. So that would be my rave.
So I totally echo those comments. Many years ago at a Massachusetts Municipal Association meeting, there was some comment that if things are really done well in town government in preparation for town meeting, the 9 months of stuff that people like Liz and the Finance Committee did, that if that stuff is done well, by the time you get to town meeting, there's very little debate because everything's been put together, everything's understood, and it felt like that's exactly what happened at this town meeting. Respect respectful, courteous, workmanlike, efficient, and I think some sense of the citizens of kind of trusting the work of town government, so by the time it was presented to them, they could be confident that this had been well thought out, well vetted, and really a beautiful example of how government can work and the flavor of how it can work, particularly the respectfulness and the courteousness. That was palpable and warm and just plain lovely. So well done to everyone in town that made that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And when people had questions, they asked them, and they were good questions. So it was a good night. A good night for the town.
It was indeed.
That's for sure. All right, so being that we've got no more business in open session, I'll make a motion that we go into executive session for the purpose of number 6, and that's to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if the chair declares an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position, which I do, and this is regarding Turkey Swamp. So we've got a motion to go into executive session. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.